While today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see a squad from the Sun Belt, the South Carolina Gamecocks. And the Gamecocks will put total leather and will get started. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Clemson's offense is on the field for the first time today. This rivalry can fly under the radar from time to time, but trust me, the Gamecocks and Tigers do not like each other.
No, and it doesn't fly under the radar to the people in South Carolina, because there's always a debate of Clemson versus South Carolina and bragging rights fully on the line.
What's fun about this game is that someone gets to play spoiler. And in recent years, we've seen Clemson in the national championship picture late in the year. Regardless of what South Carolina's record is, they are trying to ruin Clemson's season. Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
That last big play, one that can really jumpstart a drive. It's 1st and 10 from the 47. They'll try to get outside. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Clemson jumps to the line. The Tigers pulled out a close one the last time they saw their Palmetto State rivals.
And Clemson, they were sleepwalking early in that game. They know when they play South Carolina, they're going to get their A-plus effort. They're going to have to take some haymakers, and they got to wake up in this one.
I think it's tough late in the season, regardless when you play. The rivalry is deep. The hatred is deep. Even when seasons are out of touch for South Carolina, they can put an exclamation point by beating Clemson at the end of the year.
Wide receiver shows motion. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to...
And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Tigers. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum is always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
On the run from inside his own 5. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. So South Carolina's offense will get the ball for the first time. As we take a look at our impact players for this one, what are you looking for, Jesse, for a guy to make an impact?
Well, these are simply put the leaders of this football team, and generally games go how these guys play. If they make plays, then they've got a shot to win this one.
No doubt, they got to show up. These are the team leaders. These guys have to play well if they're going to win the football game.
And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Grab behind the line. It's Hurley. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Well, the short passing now is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up.
Back to pass, it's Segal. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
And it's such an advantage for this defense to have an outside linebacker like that can rush the passer because they can set the edge. They can get off the ball, and they're just way too fast for tight ends or for offensive tackles to get out and block it.
The Gamecocks will call on their punt team. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Makes the catch right at the 50. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pat.
Touchdown, Clemson! A great catch and run for 6.
Quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Looking downfield, it's Siegel. Hit as he throws. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Lost one deep down the right side. And the ball is picked off. The return never really got started, but boy, he has set his team up at the 28.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time, he used the lob wedge, and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense.
And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
And this offense, I think, will do a good job in this game divvying up the football and distributing it to different guys in the passing game. It won't just be receivers. It's not going to be tight ends. This running back, he's a weapon, too, after he catches it. You saw it right there.
He's got an open man. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40. Clemson has just been prolific at the receiver position. More scheme or more talent? I'd argue it's both, David.
Yeah, I argue more talent over the years, just dudes on the outside that win. And you know what? I think Clemson, as much as anybody in the country, has always featured those guys. And you want to play one-on-one with those guys, or you want to give them a cushion like they'll throw it right now. And they've always believed in those guys out wide. And you know what? They usually come through for you.
This rivalry dates back to 1896. It's been a little bizarre with the chicken curse, and it's a bit unusual, too, because the state school, South Carolina, isn't the perennial football power.
No, but it's kind of had its ebbs and flows, a little bit back and forth, some great coaches on both sides, but the in-state hate is beautiful.
There's a lot of great rivalries, especially down in the South and the Deep South. This is one of the better ones, though, because you just never know what the outcome is going to be.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. He's open on the right. Ripping through the defense and getting it all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Well, offensive coordinators put in countless hours every week trying to formate and use different personnel groupings and shifts and motions to give their offense a success on third down. You can tell in this game, this offensive coordinator, he has put in the work.
And the quarterback goes down. There is a penalty flag on the field, but I think the defense might have the option just to take this play. They'll decline that penalty, obviously very happy with the results of the play. They'll line up for a second down play. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. He's looking to throw. Finds a man in the middle. And a good pickup there. They'll move the sticks for a first down. Let's see if they try to get another snap before the quarter expires. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. Snags it. And he was close to scoring with that one. Defense runs him out of bounds at the 3.
Right on that outbreaking route, really it's designed for the receiver to make the catch before falling out of bounds. Nice timing and anticipation by the quarterback on that throw.
Hand off from the shotgun. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Clemson. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. So it's an 80-yard drive, and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. From inside the 10, here he comes. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do?
He's going to let one fly down the middle. And it's caught inside the 25. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. And the Gamecocks want to move quickly. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. They go to the ground. They make the stop, and they give up 5 yards on the run. It's down to the 11.
Let it bust for a long one. Now, third down becomes very manageable. It's not third in eternity. Now the whole playbook is short passing it.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
This is not going to get any easier. You're already down. You know it's passing situation. And you got to protect your quarterback, and they can't do it. This has not been a great day early for this offense.
And on fourth down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. Not a particularly long kick from 36 yards out, but he'll have to guide it in from the left hash. Just drives it between the uprights. So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3-spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. And no chance at a return. Here they'll start this drive at their own 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
And welcome to modern college football. That's what it is. Spread you out, find my playmakers, make quick decisions, and really put defenses in a difficult situation.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. The receiver on the jet sweep. Got room at the 35. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. When your best is demanded on a big stage like this against a rival, he has delivered, cracking the 150-yard mark.
No doubt about it. What do we say? Big-time players make big plays in big games. Games don't get bigger than this for this team right here, and this guy, David, has shown up today.
And it's so nice as a coach to have that dude that you know you can count on. He'll put up big numbers, and he's been carrying this offense.
Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. The magic bean is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense on the back end. They've got their quarterback right now in a groove.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Trying play action. Whoa, does he turn that loose down the middle. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
Forget about those tight ends, right? They come up and they block most of the time, and a lot of time near the line of scrimmage, and then occasionally offenses do a great job, get creative, find a way to get a good matchup for the tight end, and he does the rest and gets in for 6.
And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They've been pretty much stifled on offense so far, David, only able to muster 3 points in their previous 3 drives.
And you got to find a way to open this up and create some explosive plays. The passing game is obviously the easiest way. Jesse, put more speed on the field. Find those guys down the field.
You know they're frustrated, too, because they felt like there were some matchups they could take advantage of to get some points on the board early. In this one, they just haven't been able to connect on those opportunities. But I like David's idea. Maybe move some guys around.
All kinds of running room. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
8-yard pickup on 1st down leaves them with 2nd and short. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the 1st down.
And here we go. If you're an offense, you got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field later on.
Yeah, exactly. And, coming into this game, this offense knew they were going to have to some way, somehow, at least establish a semblance of...
Oh, the sweet spin, and he's free. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. The Gamecocks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go up top on 1st down. He's got his man.
Nice patience by the quarterback here, working against zone coverage. He was allowing his receiver an opportunity to find that open space in the defense before pulling the trigger.
He's got it on the run. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. And this is a really important series of plays, a chance to cut into the lead just before halftime. Trying to get to him. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Gamecocks!
A nice job by this offense, putting the scoring drive together. And now, listen, it's not even halftime yet. So keep fighting, going to halftime, regroup. We found a little something on this drive. See if we can cut into this lead and continue to make this game closer and closer.
Lining up for the PAT. The kick is good, but the penalty flag indicates we've got a roughing the kicker call coming.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The kickoff team out there to boot it away and 15 yards farther up the field after the roughing the kicker penalty. No shot to return that one as he booted it out of the back of the end zone. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They unleashed an aerial assault last time and took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. make this defense think, put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills, and they've got it at the receiver position. So if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Quarterback checking off. He wants to pass it on 2nd down. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Tigers. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. This dude is putting on a show, taking up residence in the end zone by the air and by the ground, in keeping with what Clemson looks for in a quarterback.
Man, this is unbelievable. I mean, you've seen so many great guys run through, and Clemson majors in quarterbacks that can throw, can run, and really be dynamic. And this guy is having himself a day.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum, because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score points.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. The running back has it. Plows through the defense. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. And they got him for the sack. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want, because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
It's caught. And the defense wrestles him to the ground. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. 3rd and short now from their own 48. To throw, it's Segal. It's complete on the right side. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down. And the Gamecocks moving quickly to the line. To the air on 1st down. What a snag by the defense. Bringing it back. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Tigers. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They want to get the ball right back here in the first half. They've got the lead and going for the onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done.
We're only in the first half, and I don't think anybody had onside kick in the 2nd quarter on their bingo card. They were trying to catch the opponent off guard, but it didn't work. Now let's find out what this offense can do. You've got to make them pay for gambling.
They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Getting some heat. That one falls out of bounds, incomplete.
I mean, how long do you want your secondary to hold up? I know it's a night game, but they just held up all night on that play. Unbelievable job sticking with the wide receivers, taking away the downfield pass. All that time and nobody comes open, that says something about your defense.
And And the offensive coordinator here is really trying to stay aggressive and take a shot. Obviously, the offense couldn't click on that one. But later in the game, if I'm this offense, I'm continuing to stay aggressive. Keep the foot down on the gas pedal.
And he just throws it away on third down. I don't think you can give up on a play like that. One more play before the teams head to the locker room. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Going for it all. And that one is picked off in the end zone. And he's dragged down after the interception, and that's how we'll close out the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, between the coaches who have matched wits in this game and the players and the unforgettable moments, the Palmetto Bowl is must-see TV, and today is no different.
Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Got blown out in the first half and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing.
And he breaks into the open. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stopped. The Gamecocks will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Offense trying to pay it off on 2nd and goal. Zings it complete to the right. Touchdown, South Carolina! What a grab and go for the score.
Quarterbacks love finding their tight ends down here in this area of the field. Big targets and small spaces. Nice work on that TD.
On to attempt the try. Right down the boulevard. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. They're lining up to boot it away. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Grabbed over the middle. It's Knight. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. They are dialed in on this drive. A couple of chunk plays, and now they'll snap it on 1st down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up. Clemson is quick to the line.
I don't blame the quarterback for taking that shot either, man. He's cooked up with this guy twice today for scores. Give him another try. They just couldn't get on the same page on that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Makes the grab on the left. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
You know, it's one thing to have all the accolades preseason and have all the expectations, but it's another thing to be able to go out and execute week in, week out. He's done that. He now has over 1,500 receiving yards on the year.
Dances away to buy time. Under heat, and he gets rid of it. And the missed connection on 3rd down.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Finds him out of the backfield. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before they'll recycle that down marker.
Well, I think the experience on offense was a big reason why the head coach felt confident going for it there on 4th down. He has a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps. They've been in these big game moments before, ice in their veins. And you saw it there on that completion to keep the sticks.
Unleashes one deep. Touchdown, Clemson. And the route is on. The Tigers putting down a big paw print right now as they start to pull away from the Gamecocks.
Man, I think you kind of get this here we go again feeling. Clemson had the upper hand in this series for a while now. Clemson always talked about, always loved. South Carolina's got to answer.
I feel like Clemson's been winning on the recruiting trail between these two teams in the last several years now, and I think that's really starting to show itself on the field today.
And the returner is stopped. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They've clearly found that dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
Let's see what they have in the bag on 3rd and short from their own 18. To the ground to try to move the chains. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll give it to him again. Got a little space. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. The Gamecocks are moving quickly down the field. To the air, it's Siegel. Fires to the middle. He makes a catch. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust it.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. How about that play by the strong safety? Made sure his responsibility was covered and then just went and made a play.
And sometimes it's freestyling, right? Sometimes coaches will get a little bit upset, but they don't get near as upset when I get the guy on the ground. They're okay with that, but I'm spinning down. I'm playing close to the line of scrimmage as a strong safety. I see the quarterback. I got to make sure if I do go to him, I better get that sucker and I better wrap him up and I better tackle him.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
This has been a rough night for this offensive line. Man, they have not protected their quarterback. Everything starts with the big guys up front. That's their 5th sack given up of the game.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. He's going to pass. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Open runway ahead. Touchdown, Clemson! And the stomping has commenced. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
It just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Bringing it out. There to make the stop, and we've played 3 in this one. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Hall to go up top. Fires downfield. It's complete. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. And the best thing about this, the offense can't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to make plays like that, Jesse.
I know a lot of people in the stadium probably feel like this game is over. Maybe it's been over for a while, Reese, but don't tell that to this quarterback and his teammates. They're still out there scrapping and clawing.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. After the incompletion, they go back up top. What great protection, and he lets it go down the middle. Just making a huge play, and he sets him up all the way down at the 14. That big play has this defense reeling, and now they'll snap it 1st and 10 from the 14. They'll throw it from the red zone. Grabbed in the middle, it's Adams. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking for a gap. It's Cantrell. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
And now a big 3rd down coming up. Down multiple possessions. This is one, Palmer, I'm looking for 6. I'm not trying to kick a field goal. I want to cut into this lead with a touchdown.
No, you got to have it. And also, considering all of that, this is 4-down territory, too. So you need to identify who are your best players on offense and how can you give them a chance to score this touchdown.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and stick.
Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Gamecock.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. You know, that's the way that coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
And the point after is good. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Set to kick it away.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. A quick strike touchdown up top the last time they had it, Jesse. They'd love to do it again.
No doubt. They've got so many playmakers on the perimeter, David. Just find a way to get these guys the ball in space.
And you already started, man. Making that big play, opening up this offense. This quarterback is feeling good about himself. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it right back to him.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
All right, well, the quarterback's showing you he is human after all. Finally throws an incompletion, and not just that, after a couple completions back-to-back-to-back, almost throws a pick.
Another incompletion on 3rd down. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. It's a fake. He wants to throw. Fires to the right. And the pass goes incomplete, and they rise up to stop the fake punt on 4th down. Have an incompletion like that, you always think, why not just let the quarterback throw it? The element of trickery was afoot, and it didn't work. Got it set up on the outside. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Man, those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
Catch in the middle. It's Smith. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top. And the Gamecocks trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Hall will throw it. They're trying to get to it. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
And I'll tell you what, when you get inside 3, I think your tendency is to run the football, run the football, run the football. The offense, try to change it up a little bit, maybe try to throw it. I don't like it, and obviously it didn't work, but at least you got a few more downs here to try to make up for it.
Fires to the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing. The result of this game is going to sting for sure, but you've got to continue to build, you've got to improve, and you can take some positives out of this late hustle and build for next week.
There's always positives, and coaches are always looking for those things that we did well. What did we do well so we can do more of it in the future? Finding some things here late that they did well.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Rifles it down the middle. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. Even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive, pedal to the metal.
Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. He wants to throw. With the catch, it's Knight. Brought down at the 32-yard line. Picks up 15 yards on the play and an important first down. That one interception in the loss last week really stuck with him, but he's answered by taking care of the football in this game. Fires deep toward the end zone. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. Second down coming. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. He'll just keep slinging it. Going back to the well, another deep ball. Touchdown, Tigers! And the pummeling has started.
When you've got a losing skid, there's nothing like some good old home cooking. They came back home, and they have played an outstanding game. And let's give this crowd a helmet sticker. They've been so loud. You know they've impacted this game, and that's the beauty of college football, helping their team get back in the win.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face, and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today, they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
Hall to go up top. Unloads it left. A strike downfield. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down. This offense is like running a perfection drill in practice against air, chunk play after chunk play, and here they come again. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Looking to pass on second down. Intercepted. Got some room to run. He's inside the 40. At the 20. Touchdown, Tigers. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be...
Fires the pass, intercepted. Got room on the return. He was hoping for that interception return for the touchdown, but he's brought down at the 27. On first down, here comes this offense. Takes a handoff. It's Whitaker.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great day today.
You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched